Hi guys, Dave in Texas here, and what you're looking at is a Strat copy called the Lucky Penny, and man, this thing is loaded with effects. I mean, look at this. See all these toggles? And active pickups. It's been a while since I worked on a guitar with active pickups. And first thing I was checking was the height of the pickups. They seem to be fine. They're not too close, not too far away. I looked at the bridge. It's lined up properly, parallel with the guitar. It looks like it's been intonated. But of course, all those things I'll check to be sure with my tools, because doing it by eyesight is not the best way to do things, especially when you do so many of these things. It's like, oh, it's got a big curve in that. And it's not one at all. Your eyes see things that are not there. Okay, so this is coming in my shop for a pretty much straightforward setup. Get everything working on it properly, put some new strings on it, tune it up, intonate it, clean up the fretboard, which has a lot of strange scratches on it. I'm not sure where those came from, plus a bunch of indentions. If you look at this real close, if I can show these to you, on a couple of frets, it's just, taking off the wood completely. I don't know how that happened, but there's a lot of scratches all over that board that I think I can do with some polish on these and get these to go away and make it look a little better with some touch-up pen as well. Okay, now the big thing to be done on this guitar is he wants a new cover for his components, right? Now I don't know how he's been playing this without a cover for this, but this is a nightmare, and pushing all these back in again is not the best way to do this either. Of course, you left the battery in there, so that's not the best thing. But what I've got to do, I've chosen a kind of a off-white color, right, to put on his, use as a cover for his components, which I think will look really nice with this color, guitar. Because this is a beautiful guitar. I mean, it is just so pretty, it's unbelievable. It's like, you don't want to play it so pretty. And the neck is just phenomenal. I mean, it's got an excellent, fast, well-made neck. And I don't know if he bought this second, or bought this from a shop or what, if it came as one, but man, excellent neck. Good tuners, not great, but good, just regular tuners on it. And that's just no good. I mean, that's a good way to just screw everything up on it when you're playing. Of course, very, very difficult to hurt yourself shocked or whatever. But yeah, getting in the way and hurting you, yeah, that could do it. And plus, if you look at this, he set this up the way he wants it, I guess. But these screws are way too much into this. They should be way out here where they belong, so you can actually work that bar much easier. These are normally like an inch away from the bottom of the trough right here, the route. But I'm going to leave those alone for now. Maybe adjust those later when I get in touch with him when he comes in for this final setup, which is what I do with these things. I just set them up per the spec that the factory says, except for this. I'm going to have to go by what he tells me when he gets here to pick his guitar up. Everything else is factory spec. And if you don't like that factory specification, well, I can always change it some. Either raise the action some if it's buzzing too much for their taste, lower it if it's too high. Do actually really a pro setup, which means involving the players. That's why you see the players playing their guitars at the end of the video, showing what they like about the setup or what they don't like about it. And 9 times out of 10 they like it. We just go ahead and just end up the video and that's that. But sometimes they'll say, no, I want this changed, and we'll stop the video and change what they want changed. That's what a professional setup's all about. It's not like run to the cash register, pay for your guitar, and get the hell out of my shop. That's not a professional setup. That's a blowjob. Sorry. I shouldn't use that word, but that's what it is. It's a BJ. Anyway, and think about $60 for a BJ. That's not bad. Anyway, back to the real world. We're going to go ahead and take all this tape off here, get all the goo off that left behind, because this is a cloth electrical tape, and it leaves back resin, and it takes polish and finish off if you're not careful. And get a measurement for this open controls cabinet and get him one cut. Now, by putting the parts back in it, I'll just go by test and see how it works and what's going to get in the way, such as this cord here is going to get in the way of the jack. There's several things on here that's going to be compressed that have not been compressed before, it looks like, and I don't want to damage anything when it takes place when I do that. So I got to be very careful about putting this little control panel back on here. But the main thing is that it's going to protect these much better than it is right now, which is no protection at all, and go from there. So let me measure this up and start a template on it and show you what I do to cut these by hand. Alright, well, you're looking at the plastic I'll be using. It's a little dirty right now, but I've got a couple of problems here. Alright, single ply that I have for this guitar pick guard to shape into this will not only not fit, but it's too thin. It actually will bubble up with a little bit of pressure. It's just, they make it real thin these days. Triple ply is too thick and creates a problem of compressing this down too much. Damn it. So I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to use this very special plastic I've got. This is for signature plastic on pick guards. A guy asked me, hey, I want a bunch of people to sign my pick guards and just use like fountain pens, magic markers. I don't want that stuff to smear like it does on a regular pick guard, so I bought him this material, made a pick guard out, and that's what I got left over, this big sheet. I have 3 or 4 sheets of it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and use it. It's more expensive, but it will do the job. And he wants me to sign the back of his guitar. They can, very easily. It'll stay there, come to think of it. But I've got to clean it up some because I have my finger markings all over it. I'm going to make sure that part that I cut out of it is the clean part. So guys, hang in there while I clean this thing up. This is the outside line of that controls cabinet. And obviously all I'm going to do is cut it on the inside line, but I will draw this on the outside line once I have it to scale and once I have these measurements across here based upon what I got here, so I can transfer them to this expensive plastic here. Okay, that's the only way to do this because I'll be cutting this by hand. Setting up a router without a jig to do this, just useless, just totally useless. I could do some straight lines with it. I could do a couple of curves, but geez. By the time I set it all up, got it running, much quicker by 10 times quicker to just do it by hand with a saw. So I need to get my scale out of my little container of shame, wherever it is, which one it's in, and go from there. So hang in there, guys, while I get this all measured up and put the transfer the measurements to this paper. Okay, well, I can't find my little metal scale anywhere, but I can use this little protractor. It is accurate as well. Trust me, I've tested it. So I want to get as many measurements as I can and as accurate as I can. On these curves. And I'll just take them from outside line to outside line. And that, my friend, is 2 inches at the max. So, outside line to outside line. Let's draw that real quick. It's 2 inches. See, that runs, yeah, that runs all the way down. Let's 2/16 all up to that curve there. There's that big body there, and it dips in. So, I've got the measurements for it now. Ta-da. And what I'll do is I'll draw this onto the plastic using these measurements as well as this template, and then take a straight edge and edge it out on the outside line as you see me do before. And I always can get back and shave off what I need to shave off, because I don't want to cut it or try to cut it exactly as you see it when I'm hand cutting it. Even with a route, you want to leave yourself some error room in case there is a problem, because I've only got 3 sheets of this stuff, but it's expensive, so I want to make sure that you know, I get it right the first time. I'll end up wasting my my signature plastic. It's what they call it, signature plastic. So hang in there, guys, while I transfer this. What I don't want to do is be drawing on top of this guitar. So I'm going to set this guitar back in a stand where it's nice and safe. I'll be drawing and cutting, and I want this out of the way in a safe spot. Okay, back to it, guys. I just basically have to get nice straight lines on this thing on the outside edge. I'm looking right about there, I believe. Then remeasure it with my scale here. And that one doesn't go quite far enough. Go a little further. The edge be better there. Now for a straight line right across, I will not include the curvatures in this at this time. Just make sure I cover the tops of them and follow the right angle. Make sure, oh, there with that pencil again. Anyway, that's what's nice about having a mechanical pencil. Just twist it and there you go again. If you're smart to go soft, which I'm not. Okay, there it goes. And like I said, I'm drawing well above the line, maybe a 1/16 above the line that I'll be cutting on, or want to cut to, once it's all said and done. And I'm going to sneak up on this line, make sure it's nice and straight, come in, draw past it, just like that. That's way well above the line. Maybe a little too much, but it's better safe than sorry. And if you'll notice, this side doesn't do too well for a signature, but the other side is fantastic. And that'll be the side that's up and to the public, to his public. Okay, now for this bottom line, get past that little mark there. Okay, there we go. That's about the rough shape I want to get. I want to make sure to measure that and be sure, 100% sure, that I'm not inside the line. It looks real close on one, but anyway, let me measure this and see what we can do to get it started, cut it. Okay, well, after measuring it, we are way well above the line by 2/16 all the way around it. So what I'll do is get the little saw out and saw that off and have a little rough blank here to fit a little later into the cavity. And I guess I'll take an X-Acto knife and cut that those rounded shapes off, because the saw doesn't do a very good job of that, but this is really tough plastic to cut on. Well, so now you can see that the rough blank's been cut out and sawed out. Alrighty, and I got a little carried away with that saw. I got a little carried with that saw and got a little nib here, but good thing it's on the outside line as usual. Let's be cut down to shape. And someone asked me recently about my smoking and their guitars. Well, guys, for my smoking to affect your guitar, it had to be in my shop. Well, actually, it couldn't even be my shop. It had to be in a tiny little room for years, like the size of a closet, with me smoking daily, to have an effect on your guitars. And before they leave here, they all get buffed with this nice premium polish. has a nice scent to it, and removes anything off it that could possibly be on there, and buffed and polished off, which there's not anything on there. I've never had somebody say, my guitar smells like cigarettes. No, not unless you've been playing with it, you know, in a smoky club for years. And then it's hard not to remove the smoke off it when you buff it and clean it up. Get that stain off the binding and such. You gotta be careful not to do that, guys, because some people get pissed off. They got like a 50-year-old guitar, and you take some polish to it and remove all that yellow stain that's on the rest of the binding. So, no, my smoking does not affect the guitars, period. So don't even consider that. Anyway, I'm readjusting my lights here because I gotta get down to the final cut on this and go from there and install it on my guitar, okay, or his guitar. So hang in there, guys. Well, we got the part cut and fitted. Only problem is it's too perfect. The lines are too perfect on it, and it fits this thing just perfectly. I mean, you snap it in there, and you have to use an X-Acto knife to get it back out again. You can't use your fingernails. It's too tight. I don't know how I did that. What I need to do is go in there and open up some of these edges. Maybe open up a flare here or something where you get your fingernail in there to get the damn thing out. But it's so close on all tolerances, it sticks. Actually, I had to get an X-Acto knife to get it to pop out again. That's not good. That really pissed him off. He got one like that and couldn't get it back out again. I think that'd make me mad too. Anyway, what I need to do is go ahead and rough up these edges a bit, get them a little bit looser, so that it fit like a like a glove. Basically, is what I'm talking about, and get it to feel a little more sloppier inside the cavity. Oh, how did I manage to do that? Anyhow, after I open up a few spots on it so you can reach his fingers in there, a fingernail or something in there to get it out with, I'm going to place 2 holes in the guard here and one up here, and put some fender screws in there to hold this in place now. The trick is to actually find the exact spot on the guard where these 2 holes, you know, are on the part. So I'll take a piece of tissue paper, lay it across here, use it as a template, mark my spots on here and here using these curvatures as a guide, as you know where to put these alongside the part itself, and then mark those on the guard. Drill a tiny hole in there. It's a tiny one. I'm not going to countersink this. That'd just be silly. It's just 1 ply. Get in there and screw it down. So hang in there, guys, while I get the drill out and the tissue paper and all that good stuff to do this final part of this job. Well, we got the plate finished up now. The hole's drilled in. Just time to put it back onto the guitar's body. Screw it down with some new fender screws. And like I said before, I left a spot on this corner here and this here. You can put a thumbnail in there because I actually cut this so perfect you couldn't get it out without a razor blade or an X-Acto knife. I can't believe how close it came. It's just so frustrating. Like, if I do that and leave it that way, somebody's going to be really upset. Anyway, hang in there, guys, while I finish this off and set this guitar up. Well, there she goes. That's done. Got that part done. Now it's time to set up your guitar and get ready for him to pick up today. I put new strings on it, clean up the frets, adjust the neck, adjust the bridge, and pretty much do a complete setup on it because it really does need it. So let's cut away and get it ready to set up. And let's do some measurements first on, make sure. Hang in there, guys. Okay, we're just going to loosen these strings up and cut these off here. He's got a set of Ernie Ball 42s he wants to put on here as replacements. And I could get rid of these color scratches on his neck if he wants me to. I'll have to ask him about that. A lot of times I'll think, I'd like to think it look nicer if I did it that way, and all of a sudden he's going, no, I don't want that done, I want it to look old. So let's get these off here. Now these are really wound around. And cut the whiskers off these. there shouldn't be any need to adjust this neck. Well, that's a little different. That one's sorry guys, I checked this a little differently. Is that what I think it is? Wow, that's bowed at the wrong spot. It's got a strange bow to it. It's got relief on it, but not much. And it's up there by the head of the guitar. That's different. I have to check and see if that causes any fret buzz. Anyway, hang in there guys while I get the strings loaded up. I'm going to get this done fast and cut the film right here. I'm concerned about the shape of this neck, and that it's got a slight bow to it right at the headstock. Let me verify that when I get the strings on it. So hang in there, guys. Well, guys, I'm so concerned about this little spot here on this neck that I forgot to polish his frets. And I looked at that like, what have I done? Anyway, I loosened up the strings, but there's plenty of string on there to do this with. So I'm going to go back and polish his frets up. You know, I was like, damn, that was stupid. They do need to be polished up. They are kind of a, you know, rough state. Wow, they sure look nicer too. Some of these you can do, and they just come out so much nicer. The minute you do it, you see them shine again. Look at that. Is that shiny? Pretty. It doesn't take much. Just, you know, 6-7 strokes of these racers and it's done. And what I need to do is get a rubber band out of the bunch and get that get those strings out of my way. Lower down on. It's been around the whole horn. Now I'll just get out of the way. So now I got the strings around the horn and they're out of the way now. So I can get these rest of these frets polished up. I'm sorry my hands are in the way, guys, but that's just the way it goes. I mean, I got the camera over there for that neck. I want to show you this if I can and see, once they get strung up and tuned up, if that is an issue with that neck like that. I mean, of course, I don't trust my eyesight in these things anymore at all because I've just seen too many different neck shapes. And, you know, after a while it gets confusing, so I don't have tools to use or check it with. I could be wrong, but according to my scale ruler, scale, this thing bows up at the front, at the top of the neck, not in the middle. And when I tested the rod on it, I just put it right back to where it came from. I didn't do anything with it. I just left it right where it was. I did check and say make sure it's working, and it was, which is good in case I have to adjust it any. Well, the last part of the setup for me, other than the player playing it, is come in, check the height of the pickups, and that is way too low on that side. Let's check the other side. That's too low. That's too low. That's about right on that side. That's about right. That's about right. So, got some pickups that are low. Got to raise those up on one side. Get that straightened out. And just a few turns to do that, and that's to be time to hand his guitar back to him. It will be officially finished. Alright. So let's get to this. That raised. Wow, that's still too low. Oh man, okay. That raised up too. Well, that's better there. That's better there too. Let's raise this up a bit. Another one was fine, I believe, if I remember right. I adjusted up some. Yeah, that's perfect. Alright, there you go. So those are in better shape. The pickups are adjusted. The guitar is set up and adjusted. The only thing to do is wait for the strings to adjust. And I need to verify that he wants this thing to play this way. Of course, this is a replacement neck, or a different neck from the body, as you can see by the different colors here. But anyway, it's a nice little guitar, and it should play well for him. And the action is as low as I possibly humanly can get this thing. It's a little too low in my opinion, but that's what the note says. He wants very low action. So next time you'll hear it plays, and next time you'll see it, be him playing it. So hang in there, guys. Okie dokie, we just finished working on his guitar, get set up, do some work on it. So introduce yourself, guy.
So I'm Colin Erickson. I'm in two bands. I'm in The Couch People and in Who Melted Kyle. That's our new band name. And if you want to reach me to have any of our bands play in those gigs, you can reach me at 214-980-4213.
Cool, let's hear what your guitar sounds like. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just got the setup, and then he put a back plate on.
Oh, nice. It looks better, doesn't it?
It does. And then this is how it sounds.
Stop.
There you go.
Okie dokie. Let's put something in it that's missing. Yeah, one thing you always do, you take out your battery. You never leave your guitar for more than 4 or 5 days without taking the battery out of the guitar.
Why?
Because it has a chance to melt in there.
Oh, yeah.
And your battery's weak. Yours is like 7.9, you know, your old battery.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets past 8, you need to replace it. This is where it be a 9.5 when you test it on a voltmeter. I think that's why 3 years away it was worn out. Okay, here you go. Let's plug her back in.
Alright. And then all it needs is just that one black pick.
What? Oh God. You figure out which one is. I don't know.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, it's good. This was running the whole. Okay, guys, we just finished setting the guitar up, putting a new plate on it, did some other things to it, and here it's stupid. I forgot to put the 9-volt back in it, so it wasn't playing with the shit. Couldn't hear it. Duh. Introduce yourself, tell about your bands and all that good stuff. Go ahead.
So, my name is Colin Erickson, and I'm in two bands. One of them is called Who Melted Kyle, and the other one is called The Couch People. If you want our band to play in any venue or any party that you want, we're for hire. You can reach me at 214-980-4213.
What music do y'all play for your band?
It's just mostly like alternative rock.
Cool. Now, if somebody wants a punk band or they want covered country western, you gonna say no or what?
We can maybe play some. We can maybe play some punk stuff.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear what your guitar sounds like, dude. Go ahead. Okay, let's do this. That's the cleaning part, guys. If you want to know about his pickups. Now, let's get nasty. Okay, go for it now. Cool, dude. All right. Well, what do you think about setting the work, dude?
I love it. I think it's amazing.
Cool. All right. Guys, any questions, give me a holler. David, Texas. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.